Welcome to the Sarah Scoop Show. It's time to get the scoop with Sarah.
Bobbi Jo Reed Healing House in Kansas City, and we serve people that have had addiction issues in their life and wanting to do something different and rebuild their life. I started drinking at 12 years old. Was my back got broke due to alcoholism. I had 3 compressed fractures in my back and my neck, and that was at 15. I was in a metal body brace for a year. Things were spiraling out of control, but I lived in a family that if we didn't talk about it, it really wasn't happening. And so I lived with my family, but we were very siloed in our own lives. And so I think I was an alcoholic by the time I was 13. I started drinking at 12. By 13, I could say I was already addicted. My life spiraled out of control for the next 22 years. And in the depths of my addiction, I quit talking to my family. I was being human trafficked by an awful, awful man that would beat me unmercifully, and just lived crazy. And when he beat me up so bad that I couldn't make any money, I ended up living under, the boxes on the back of a semi truck. There were some of those parked beside a liquor store downtown, and I would live under those when I needed to. I basically became something we call a wet brain, which means I couldn't even hold conversations with people anymore. And so finally, I got to a free detox downtown Kansas City, Missouri, and it started my journey. And now I've been sober for over 25 years. And when I started changing my life, I also found Christ at that point. I'd been going a 12-step fellowship for quite a few years, but the void kept coming back in my life, even though I wasn't drinking. And that's when I started my relationship with Christ. I knew there were 900 women in our city going through treatment every year with less than 30 safe beds when they got out of inpatient. So people didn't want to be bothered with single women. So that's how I started it. And the rest is history. I bought an old nursing home in the inner city, and I started living there. I thought I was going to help 10 women stay clean and sober every year. And it's in the documentary, but 2 months after I got the initial house, the dope man moved in right next door, brandished a weapon to us, sold drugs, ran prostitutes. So I claimed the dope man's house, and a year and a half later, we got his house. And now we have 14 homes. We have 3 commercial properties. We have an administrative building. We have a gym with apartments up above. We have a strip mall with apartments up above, and we also have a recovery community center. So I guess that would be 4 commercial properties. I don't know. It's all a blur. I look back over the last 25 years, and I have been able to really devote my life to helping others. In helping others, I found my purpose. And initially, I started helping people because it made me feel good, but I just kept doing it because it became the next right thing to do. And it's my world. Some people say, "Oh, you live in a bubble," but you know what? I got an awesome bubble. So there's 200 people that live here every day with us, and around 30 children. So so over 8,000 people have came through the Healing House over the last 20 years. We're coming up on our 20-year anniversary. My dad had always been my hero. He was a police officer, and he always worked 2 jobs. I didn't let my dad hardly know any of the things that were going on with me, but he was always my hero. And he started getting sick. He retired from the police department after 37 years. And we had his 61st birthday party. He had started getting sick. He had a back surgery. And we had his 61st birthday party. And the next day, my mom called me and said, Sissy, get over here. Your dad's dead. And my mom was a hoarder. So it was an awful experience. My brothers had to carry my dad's body out of the area that he was in to put him in an area that was close. And that wasn't so trashed out. And something changed. I tried to drink myself to death. I stayed with my mom for a week after my dad died, and she got 100 Valiums from her doctor to keep me so I wouldn't be drunk or drinking. And I really thought I was going to make my dad proud of me and never drink again. But I tried to drink myself to death for the next 3 weeks. And I didn't eat, I didn't do anything but drink. And I ended up at a free detox downtown. And in that detox, there were no hygiene products. Everybody was dirty. People were coming off the street. There wasn't soap or toothpaste or toothbrushes or nothing. And really, as strange as that sounds, when I got out of treatment, what I did, I had Crohn's disease pretty bad too. But when I got out of treatment, I would bake stuff and I'd sell them at this outdoor flea market. But at that same flea market, I could take some of my earnings and I could buy, that hotel little things of bar soap and little things of toothpaste. So I'd buy some of those hygiene products and I started taking those down to the detox. And like I said, at first it made me feel good about me, but then it really fulfilled a need in me of helping other folks. And it gave me purpose in my life. We started in a very crime riddled area. And I have to say, when I first got here, I bought a 23-room nursing home for $50,000, if that tells you anything. Now that same house appraises for almost $1 million. So the area was so bad. I mean, not 3 hours would pass without hearing gunshots. And so we've redone 14 drug or abandoned homes in this community. And now the housing market is quadrupled. It's insane. And this community is coming back to life and thriving again. So we help people. Basically, people come to us. They're either coming out of incarceration due to their addiction or off the street or from a treatment center. We take everybody. There's no entrance fee when you get here because most of our people have everything they own in a Price Chopper sack, or the real fortunate ones have a 33-gallon trash bag with everything they own in it. So we start there. We have hygiene products, we have clothing, we have a clothing pantry. So we really start building people up. Many folks come to us, they don't even have identification. So we do all that. We help people build resumes. We have an employment specialist here, so we help them get jobs. They learn how to live again without drugs or alcohol. And much more than that, I mean, everybody calls me mom here. I don't force them to call me mom. Actually, I've had some people come in and say, you're not my mom. I'm not calling you mom. And I'm like, okay, you call me Bobbi Jo then. Within 2 weeks, they're calling me mom because I'm kind of the mom to everybody. And so it just kind of comes natural. And, people, you don't know what your hobbies are when you've been in addiction. You don't know what you like to eat. You don't know what makes you have fun. And so it's really, we have like family game night here. We go camping. We have barbecues, picnics, outings to Smithville Lake to go swimming. We have bingo once a month where we all come together. We eat dinner together. We come together at 5 o'clock every evening. We pray together, we eat dinner together, and then we have a recovery meeting or a Bible study. So at our recovery community center, it can hold up to 350 people. And I'm telling you, many Friday nights, there was 200 to 300 people in there before COVID. So we're looking forward. Everybody got their vaccines today. So it looks like by the 1st of May, we will be able to be back in community together. And we're really looking forward to that. We're known in all the prisons. We are known out on the street. All the treatment centers, we work with all them, the local police department. People used to tell me we're the best kept secret in town. And that's okay, because that means we're living good, right? So I am a person like, you know what? Our recovery house is going to be the nicest house on the block. We're going to plant flowers. We're going to help our neighbors. We're going to live like we're supposed to live. So really, we've never advertised. It's always been word of mouth. Right now, we're totally full. There are many times we're turning away 50 to 100 people every week. Yeah, so the need is so great. I really thought I was going to help 10 women get their life together every year. And then it went to the second house because we were out of room. And then it has spiraled from there. And so my little dreams of helping 10 women was not what God had in store for me. And the need is huge. And the way we approach this recovery, every house has a house mom or a house dad, and the big houses have assistants. So there's somebody overseeing what's taking place in the house, making sure people are being accountable and doing what they're supposed to be doing. We're very structured, and I love that. And it really teaches people how to be respectful of what they've been blessed with and be respectful to other people. So we have a great recovery rate. We're the largest recovery housing in the state of Missouri. Like I said, I don't know how this all happened. It's kind of a blur. I've just been suiting up and showing up every day and doing what God created. I'm the most blessed woman in the world because I get to live my purpose every day. It's not ever been a day of work. It's a day of me making a difference in somebody else's life each and every day. And there can't be nothing better than that. I wrote a book probably 6 years ago, and I was out sharing my testimony at a church out in Leawood. And after I shared, many people came up to me, but this one guy came up and said, "Hey, I don't know, but I want to meet up with you and talk. And I want to check this healing house out more." I said, "Okay." So we set up a day where he's coming down, and I thought it was me and him going to talk, and I was going to show him around. He brought 2 other guys with cameras with him. And I thought, this is a surprise. I would have looked a lot cuter today if I would have known I was going to be on film. So anyway, he tells a story that they spent 3.5 hours with me that day, and they went home. And producers and directors, they always want to look if somebody comes across the screen and has something to draw folks in. And he called me and he said, "We've got to do a movie about your life." And I'm like, "Oh, okay." So, it's really not about me. I am so grateful that this documentary was made, because it's really not about me, but it's a story filled with hope and redemption. And I was the lowest of the low, really. I was the lowest of the low. And when I was out there in the streets, I became an invisible person. And for God to see fit to bring me out of that and to use me. And what that has always let me, here's the good news. I've never met anybody that was more screwed up than me. So I'm like, there's hope, there's hope. But I believe this documentary is going to touch a lot of people's hearts, not just people in recovery or family members of people in recovery. Everybody that's watched it has said, and these are people from all walks of life, have said, "I am not doing enough in my life. if you as one person can make this kind of impact, I know I'm not living into my purpose and to the fullness of what I can do. And so it's an inspiration to people. And I believe the documentary is going to save a lot of lives and bring peace to others and hope. Yes, absolutely. There is a part at the end of the movie that says you can donate to Healing House. I don't know if the platforms took that off, but it's raising awareness. I have had people reach out to me and say, this is amazing. I want to help. So I've had people from all over the country reach out and say, we want to do recovery housing. Can you help us? And so at my house, I lived with the girls for 12 years over in, it's called Mama Judy's house now, but I lived there for 12 years. And I got to tell you, my life at that point, I'll give you a good example. I would go in to take a bath. One of the girls would come in and sit on the toilet and start talking at me. And I'd go, honey, I'm taking a bath. You know what they'd say? Oh, you're not bothering me. I'm like, no, it's more about me. So I was on a 4-hour sleep schedule for the 12 years I was there. There was a house that was being foreclosed on a half a block up. And I got that house thinking I'll turn it into a ministry house, but it was a foreclosure. So it had to be owner occupied. So for 2 years, so I moved in here, and Judy, which passed away about 1 year ago, was my right hand. And we moved in here, and another friend. And the blessing about this house, and once we got over here, I looked at Judy one night and I said, Judy, we just watched a 30-minute television program and nobody interrupted. We're like, hey, there's something to this. Because living 24 hours a day helping people can really, it could just suck you dry. And so we needed that time of replenishment. But anyway, so in this house, I put a hunting lodge on the top floor of the house that sleeps 8 people. And so if people want to come in on mission trips, or people want to learn, really learn, I could talk to you all day, but until you immerse yourself into the work that we do, you won't really see it. So I have opened up my home to people that want to learn how to do this. They can stay here free of charge and just see what this really looks like. Many people have said, tell me the most important part about doing recovery housing. And I tell them that from the beginning, your life no longer belongs to you. Because you're helping people that have so much brokenness and feel they don't have any hope and they just don't see a way out. And it really becomes your life. And it's a blessed life. Don't get me wrong. I love it. But it is very consuming.
Thank you for watching The Sarah Scoop Show. Head to sarahscoop.com for more.